Soundblaster superior, Soundwave inferior.
Hey guys, Ultra Maximus here, and I'm back with another review, another Transformers review. I'm kind of going a little back a little bit and going back to the animated series, Transformers Animated, and this time I want to take a look at one of my favorite figures. And this is kind of goofy because it's just a repaint, but he's so damn awesome. It's Electrostatic Soundwave, or as I like to call him, Soundblaster. Because that's basically what he is. He is Soundblaster. He's got the kind of gray, blackish mold with all the red on him. This is the Soundblaster, fellas. Absolutely. Very cool figure. Very nice. Want to take a look at him. Of course, we also have Ratbat that goes along with him. So let's take a look, first of all, the packaging. Unfortunately, I don't have the packaging anymore, but we'll take a look at some pictures, see what he looked like in the package, and then look at him in his robot and in his vehicle mode. Shall we? Woo! Alright, so here we have Soundblaster in his package. He's, basically in his vehicle mode, he's got the Ratbat keytar on there, and it says Electrostatic Soundwave. Comes with a keytar. Very cool, very nice. The really cool Transformers animated packaging. I really did like that packaging. I thought they did a good job. I like the colors to it. Very nice, very cool stuff. Now here's the back side of the packaging. It's got Soundblaster playing Ratbat in keytar mode, and we've got Soundblaster in his little Scion-looking truck thing mode with the Ratbat all folded out on top. And then at the bottom we can get Samurai Prowl, which is a very cool figure. I do have that one. I'll have to do a review on it. You've got RC, which I never did get to pick up. I never did see her in the stores around here. And then you've got Waspinator, which is probably one of my favorite molds of Waspinator himself. So, yeah, looking all cool. We've got a little picture of him in the top, little artwork in the top right corner. Very cool, very fun stuff. All right, yeah, so Soundblaster. And I'm going to refer to him as Soundblaster. I don't like the name Electrostatic Soundwave. That just sounds really silly. And I think the only reason they call him Electrostatic Soundwave instead of Soundblaster is because people in the U.S. know him as Soundwave. Unless you're a huge G1 Transformers fan, you probably don't even know who Soundblaster is. And Soundblaster was the rebuild of Soundwave. Soundwave and Blaster, the Autobots, the Autobot Blaster and Decepticon Soundwave, they went at each other. They had a death to the duel in Duel to the Death in, was it Transformers Headmasters, the Japanese series that kind of picked up where the U.S. Transformers series ended, and they ended up killing each other in a battle. And they rebuild both of them. Soundwave is turned into Soundblaster, which is basically he was black with red. So he was kind of black, gray, and red instead of the blue and the gold and silver. And then Blaster gets rebuilt into Twin Cast. And he's blue and, I think blue and red, or blue and yellow, or something like that. He's kind of an odd color. But Soundblaster always looked a lot cooler. He's very nice, very cool. And this character, he does, in the cartoon, the Transformers animated cartoon, Soundwave was a little tiny toy robot that gets hit with a part of the Allspark, and he turns into Soundwave, ends up becoming a Decepticon. And he's in a few episodes. He's in the Christmas episode where he first appears, and then he comes back and he tries to take the Autobots out, and he puts them in some kind of a coma type thing where he's trying to reprogram the Autobots. And in that dream mode or cyberverse universe, whatever you want to call it, this version of Soundwave makes an appearance. He's up on a billboard trying to hypnotize and reprogram the Autobots is what he's trying to do, and we do see this paint scheme appear in that dream sequence, which was very cool because it's the only, because I know they repainted, did they repaint a few of them? It's the only time you see a repaint of Soundwave in a Generation US version, which is very, very darn cool. But at any rate, I picked him up because he does look awesome. I mean, it's flat out, it's the Soundwave animated mold. which is fine. All they did was repaint him and put some red plastic in. I do like it's that chest piece, man. Look at that. That just looks so awesome. He's got the red around the tires and around the head there and the eyes, and he has got some pretty. Let's see if I can do this. He's got some really, really nice light piping. There we go. Kind of hard to see with this figure because of the big back piece here, but yeah, some very nice light piping. He looks very cool. Flat out, it's the same exact figure as the other Soundwave. He's got red kind of tattoo-looking stripes on his vehicle mode, which we'll take a look at here in a second. But the detail on this figure is really nice. Looks really good. I've always liked this mold. I always thought it was pretty good. And I'll do a Soundwave mold, or a Soundwave review, and kind of compare the two guys. But yeah, this guy, I do like the Soundwave version of him, but the dark colors just look amazing. I mean, this is what Decepticon colors should look like. It's very, very cool. The other thing is, he comes instead of Laserbeak. Laserbeak was a guitar and came with Soundwave. Soundblaster, or Electrostatic Soundwave, comes with Ratbat, who is a guitar. Ooh, doesn't they look all cute? Squeak, 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 squeak. So, and he also makes an appearance in the show. In fact, I think Laserbeak and Ratbat are in the same episode, which Soundwave unleashes on the Autobots. And his transformation is really, really darn easy. All you do is just kind of fold this guy up. You're going to put them together. Oop, before I do that, you got to straighten the wings out. Silly me. And then you just kind of fold it up, snap it up, and then you twist Ratbat's head, and he's a keytar. He's a really thick keytar. And he's a keytar on both sides. Very strange. But yeah, he's really easy to transform. You just unfold him, spin his head, and then you can adjust the wings as you see fit. So there he is. Not that much. I mean, it's about the same as the old tape decks, which is kind of amusing. And then there are spots on Soundwave or Soundblaster's arms that you can attach the little guys to. Here, little pigs. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Getting a stick. I think Laserbeak sticks a little bit better than this guy does. There he is. So there we go. Problem is, Ratbat is so big that you can't really see Soundblaster's face. So, but he does stick on his arm. He can hold him, which is very cool. Very nice. It's a really cool homage. Hey, look at me. Hey, I see an Autobot, I think. Very nice homage to the G1 type stuff where he can actually hold his little minion. So it's very, very cool. So yeah, there he is in robot mode. Let's see what he looks like in his vehicle mode, shall we? Alright, so here we have Soundblaster in his vehicle mode. Looks like a little Scion to me, it always has. Again, same exact mold as Soundwave, or just painted differently. We have little different paint apps. We've got the nice homage to the tape deck up front, the stop, play, rewind, fast forward buttons, all that kind of good stuff. We have this really cool golden Decepticon logo with some red tribal looking pinstriping. We've got some more pinstriping up there, and we have some on the side. And of course we have the homage to the cassette deck on the doors, which is very cool. Got some nice boss looking wheels, some very cool translucent red windows, and in the front window you can kind of see that there is this nice kind of circuit thing going on, which is very, very cool. Of course he has the red plastic windows up front, and he's got the red headlights, which is very cool. Now I wish they would have painted these down here maybe gray to match that, or make those red as well. The little fog lamps, I think that would have been pretty cool. And actually, I would have liked to see the tape deck buttons in a translucent plastic, or at least painted red. Or gold to match the Decepticon logo there. I'm not really sure why they didn't do that. The back of the vehicle, same exact paint scheme, which is nothing. And it's kind of a shame because we have the two tail lights up here at the top, and then he's got a little synthesizer there in the middle, which would have made for a very cool paint app. And then he's got some more tail lights right here that are not painted, which is unfortunate. And then what looks like a little license plate right there, which is not painted. So, yeah, that's a little unfortunate. I think a few more paint apps would have made this a very, very, very cool vehicle mode. Now, unlike Laserbeak sat in his guitar mode on the top, kind of like a surfboard kind of thing. Gave it a very California look to me. Ratbat the Keytar does not do that. Instead, what you have to do is transform Ratbat. So you just kind of do that, turn his little head. And I'm going to leave his wings, and I'm going to mess with his wings. But there's a little divot right here, and you're supposed to put him on there like that. The problem with mine, it does not like to sit like that very well. So that's the way he's supposed to go down the road with Soundwave in vehicle mode, really. But as you can see, it does not stay very well on there at all, so I don't even bother doing that. I basically just leave this guy in robot mode on my shelf and have him holding Ratbat in his bat mode there. So yeah, there he is in vehicle mode, and then we'll put real quick Ratbat back into his Keytar mode, the alternate modes. Now, I will say Ratbat is a lot bigger figure in Keytar mode than Laserbeak was in guitar mode. So, and he's got some really cool detail on him as well. Instead of a fret, he's got like a little synthesizer thing along his neck. And then the Keytar itself has got nice buttons and all kinds of dials and knobs and things up there at the top of the Keytar. Of course, he's got the keys down there at the bottom, so he looks really, really nice. It'd been better if you could have hidden his head a little bit instead of just having a bat on there. But you do have the alternative of switching it over so that you don't see that. If you don't want to see Ratbat there, there's a little face, and he's got some kind of like laces going on top of his head there. So yeah, kind of weird, kind of goofy. But yep, there they are, Soundblaster and Ratbat in their alternate modes. So what do we think about this figure? Well, let's take a moment and kind of review what we think, shall we? Alright, so yeah, there he is. Got him holding Ratbat, the little Keytarist here. This is really, really darn cool. I do like this. There is a peg underneath here where it kind of clips up into his arm that lets him hold him, and then you can move his little fist up so that you can actually have him play the Keytar, which I think is fantastic. That's just another great little additive that they put on there. So, yeah, Electrostatic Soundwave, or as I like to call him, Soundblaster. One of the better figures, I think, to come out of Transformers Animated. I love the mold. The paint job is fantastic. I think it is way better than the standard Soundwave. If you had your choice between Soundwave and this guy, I would go for him just because he's darker, he's cooler, he just looks bigger and fatter, and he's got Ratbat. I mean, he's a Keytar. I mean, come on, he loves the 80s music. He's playing, Stan Bush songs on here. He's playing The Touch. He's playing Dare. The Battle for Autobot Decepticon City. He's rocking it. You gotta love him. So if you can find this guy, definitely pick him up. I highly recommend him. So there he is, Soundblaster. Thanks for watching, guys, and look for more videos in the future.